Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Wow, Mike, that was quick. I think you were one of the quickest and the first ones to put something in there. I think it's because of that Stream Deck button that you have. Hey, anybody that's out there, I hope you are ready for some tech and we're going to have some fun. It is just myself today. So just so you know, we're going to have some fun for sure, as always. If you want, don't forget, if you can join our community and go to a website, which is tinkeringwithtech.net, you can go see that. Or if you want as well, you can actually just join the community by clicking the join button below this link somewhere. And afterward, you can check it out too. Hey, where are you from? What city, state? We always ask that every show. So I figured why be different? Heather is unable to make it with us today. She says, regards and everything, and sorry for whatever reason. So we're going to talk tech. I got some tech stuff that I'm going to go over and want to go over and discuss and show you guys. So looking forward to that. We're going to get into some cool stuff, hopefully cool stuff. I think it's cool stuff, and talk about some tech that I think is relevant to today and now. So one thing, let me do here just so I have it ready at the ready. And I'm going to put this kind of off screen, side of screen. So try and cut out some of the ads, because you know how websites like to throw their ads out there. That's for sure. So I'm going to touch base on a couple of these. Let's see who else we got out there. I see 5 comments. We got, hello, Donna. Good to see you. Jalin, great to see you in the low country area. Running solo tonight. Yes, I am. Back in to subscribe and support the channel. There you go. I like that too. Yep. Even if you don't become a member, be sure to absolutely hit the subscribe button. So only a couple people watching tonight, probably just because there's so much stuff going on and in the news and with different things, etc. So today we're just going to talk about some things that are in the news, but also try to figure out how we can give me your input. I want to get your input on some of the things that you're feeling, or if you heard about something you want to bring it up, hey, by all means, put it in the chat. I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. One of the first things, anybody that knows me knows that I'm a Google guy. Love my Google, right? So what I'm going to do and show and share today is something that is come about that I just heard about, which is awesome. Google Photos has added some new features, which is so exciting. I can't wait to get into this a little bit. But yes, Google Photos gets a collage editor. I know a lot of people been asking about that. And it says, and tons of other news features. I think that's cool. That's really cool. I love Google Photos. Probably, in my opinion, this is solely my opinion, one of the best apps that Google has really created. I mean, I think it's one of the best that they've ever done. And sure, there's things they could do. Sure, there's things people request. There's a lot of different things. But I'm just telling you, oh my God, probably the best app. And I have this from my friends who are iPhone users, some that are just different users of different phones. Hands down, the Google Photos app. And I hope I'm not setting everybody's device off. No, I hope I'm not doing that. But I think this is an amazing, great thing, great feature. Plus, what they're talking about, tons of other new features. Can't wait to see all of those features. Quick shout out to Jalin and Andy, who came in today. I was having issues with my sound. Hopefully the sound is much better. I hope it is. And I think I've solved it, but who knows? You never know. It's computer and it's technology. So really just want to thank them for doing that. So, because sometimes when you're doing something by yourself, you can't figure out what the issue is or what's going on. So, and Jolin says sound is good, Michael. Thank you. All right. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. glad to hear that that's worked out. Now, let's go on to the next thing. Let's go to this one is Zoom is reportedly working on a calendar and email tools to take on Office and Google. This is really interesting. So I'm just curious. I mean, I always like to ask or find out what everybody uses. Do you use Google Meet that's free? Do you use Office because you have the Office package that's paid for? Do you use Zoom? Do you pay for Zoom, or do you use the free Zoom, or what do you use? Just curious. And how important is that this tie, which I think Zoom is cool that they're doing this kind of thing, ties to your email and your calendar. Kind of cool, kind of neat. I mean, I'm glad because I am a Zoom user. I am a Meet user. I'm going to do all of those. So, thank you. There's Ron, who is also a member. Thank you so much, sir. Your favorite Wednesday show. I love it. That's very nice of you. Paid Zoom account is what he has. Yep. I get it. I do as well. And I just love all the features, and they really got in from the ground and really did it. And they single on one thing. So I think it's kind of cool. I think it's cool that they're working on that and trying to integrate those things. Now, what does that mean? When you say email tools or calendar, is it specific to Google email, Google Mail or Google Calendar, or is it talking any product, Outlook, anything? What are they? I guess wonder where they're going with that and how that's going to work. So there you go. And I like that. Ron says Zoom is a standard. Yeah, no doubt, for sure. It sets the standard for everything else to catch up and play tag with. So yes. Don't forget, folks, if you're just now joining, I'm running solo, and we're just talking tech. Got some tech that we're talking. We are tinkering with tech. And if you have anything that you want to add, something news in the tech world that you have heard or want to add something, feel free. John says I use and pay for a number of different products because I help so many folks with different issues. Yeah, no, great point. That's a valid point too. So yeah, the more you're exposed to, etc., that is a good thing. So let's see. Mike says I use StreamYard for client meetings, paid, and then Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive. Nice. Okay, so those are all the products. On that particular one, I was just talking about meeting stuff, but yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's interesting. Since you pay for StreamYard, why not, right? Make it and use it for meeting software. You are limited with the number of people you can have in there, which is kind of stinky, but talk to them, send them feedback, right? Let's see here. We got paid Zoom and free account as well. Yep, and paid Microsoft 365, but also Google and WordPerfect Office Suite. There you go. What are you going to replace your Pixelbook with? Nothing. I haven't needed to replace my Pixelbook. That is in conversation coming up, though. I am going to talk about that in just a second because it is one of the things that I will be bringing up, and I can go ahead and do that. I'll do that now since you brought the subject up. Google cancels half the projects at its internal R&D group, or Area 120. So half the projects have been canceled. So they're making some big changes there. They were working on a Pixelbook and no longer working on a Pixelbook. So I don't know that I hopefully cross my fingers, be honest with you, Ron. I hope I never have to get rid of my Pixelbook. I hope it's just a product that lasts forever. And it's a product that people will say, oh my God, I should have gotten one originally because that thing, they made it to last, which that's one thing I always hear about. And I'm not denying this. I'm just saying that I hear from people that use Apple products. I've just had this device forever. I haven't needed to upgrade. Like my son's a good example. My one son still has, I think, an iPhone 8, and they're already up to 14 as of this past week. I mean, he says, it does what I needed to do. And so that's kind of where I am with that. I love my Pixelbook, and I think that there's I may have to go to a Chromebook or something, a big Chromebook. I just like the way the Pixelbook works and the speed and everything else. So Let's see what 𝐩𝐚𝐬𝐿 says here. I prefer the Google Mail, calendar, photos, putting together presentation on various Google products. I get it. Understood. And Ron says the battery will eventually fail. Well, you know what? The battery eventually fails on just about everything, doesn't it? And hopefully they'll have maybe a rogue Pixel book that they have on Amazon somewhere that I can go pick up another one. It's what I did for my brother a year ago, 2 years ago, and he absolutely loves that thing. He said to me the other day, he is not a techie guy. He tries, he works hard at it, and he really tries to be a techie guy. But he said to me the other day, he says, I don't know where you got this thing, but this thing is amazing. And I have that same feeling. And everybody, hey, listen, I'm not shooting down any other product that's out there. It's not what I'm trying to do. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm a Google guy. So that's why I do that. And I'm sorry if I keep setting your devices off, because I should know better. Slap my wrist that I should say G instead of the other word. And then Mike says, I have not had more than 10 people in a meeting so far. Works out perfect for you then, buddy. Yeah, that's good stuff. One thing I wanted to touch on, we got a couple more minutes here. I don't want to go too long. I want to make this a short one today, but something that I want to bring up is, do you have forever? Okay. I started, this goes to show how many years ago. I was thinking about in 86 or 87. I helped start Pizza Hut delivery in Atlanta. My wife and I were managers and stuff, and I started the delivery end of the world. So that was food delivery. Pizza delivery was a big deal. And, of course, Domino had been around for a long time as well. But I'm just curious, more on the other side, not just delivering of food, because Chinese restaurants always delivered food, et cetera, and that kind of stuff. So I'm real curious to see. I think of my kids and how much they use this. And it's just, I don't know. I think is it convenient or is it lazy? I guess that's my question. But the other thing is that I love to cook. I think it's cool, and learning the spices and different things that come up. Some of you may use these kind of things, like Freshly right here is a product, or another one is HelloFresh, HelloFresh, where they deliver all the stuff and you just make the food yourself. I'm real curious how many of you actually use this or like it, or your thoughts on it. I think this is awesome and cool, but I'm not in a major city or a major town. So I'm not sure how that food gets where that food gets from there and all that kind of stuff. So I'm real reluctant to use it myself. However, there's so many people using, like, you name them, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all the different kind of things. Hey, hadn't seen, what's up, construction cronies? Hadn't seen you in forever, sir. How in the world are you? Fantastic. Who have we got here? NPH. He's a 3D printer guy. Okay, gotcha. Where is, did I miss him or something? Maybe I missed that or something, or have been considerate, but keep doing research. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is like Freshly and the other ones that are out there like that. And you may even have your grocery store that does that same sort of thing. This is all cool and stuff like that. And as long as you're getting good product and it's fresh and everything else like that, how many of you prefer to just have it cooked for you, or actually don't mind doing the cooking part? I mean, that's the thing that I love to cook. So for me, when they give me spice, I want to know what every spice is. I want to learn about it. So when I'm combining spices, I can learn from it. It actually helps you become a better cook. And you can pick and choose. What I like about it is you can pick and choose stuff. So I like the idea of that. I think it's awesome. The other thing is that, how quick are those deliveries, like individual ones and stuff like that. So that's the stuff that's hard for me to decide and things like that. So, okay, I got you. Here's one of the food service ads you showed. Okay, got you. All right. Hey, Geeks on Tour, so good to see you guys. Glad to have you back in this part of the world instead of across the pond. DoorDash has not impressed me. Yeah, no, I get that. And when you say that, do you mean like service, just quality of the product when it gets there, or all the above, or just, because I think my kids live religiously on it, I love to cook as well. Yeah, exactly. So do you use those other things? Are you interested in those things? Just curious with that. I enjoyed cooking when I took care of Dad, but not so much for just me. Yeah, I can see that. I probably will always do some sort of cooking just because I like it, but I could see myself getting tired of it too. Prefer not to cook or clean up after cooking it. Lazy. No, I get that. I understand that too. And a lot of times, kind of like where Jolin was going with it, when you're by yourself. So yeah, I love to cook myself, trained as a chef in my parents' restaurants when I was a kid. Oh, that's so cool. I did not know that you have a restaurant background that way. My dad actually had a restaurant as well, so I can relate to that. That's so cool. Use DoorDash and like it. It's always hot and packaged nice and delivered quickly from the time the guy gets my order and delivers it, usually 10 minutes. Very nice. That's so cool. Last orders have been a problem. Gotcha. Yeah. Most delivery folks can find me because Google Maps sends me located on a street behind over a fence in a paint. DoorDash is the worst. There you go. Okay. This isn't for us to be critical. It's just saying one way or the other. So that's cool. Oh, that's true. Chris has an executive chef. That's true. A live-in executive chef. That's pretty freaking awesome too. That'll bring you a glass of wine when you need it. Construction Kearney's, let's see. He says, my wife and buy these packages of ingredients to try new things, and then we just recreate them. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that idea too. I do that a lot. I like that. Cook mostly by myself, but do order sometimes. And Richard, I know you've talked about this, and we've had chats about this, using your pressure cookers and your air fryers and all that kind of stuff. Love doing stuff in that. It's kind of harder for me now since I'm on a diet, but it's harder to find foods that I can cook in there. But anyway, and then Richard said mostly. I grew up in the restaurant business too. There you go. Yeah, it'll do it to you. And I think that's what it brings on the desire, or I think we all, my wife has a friend that puts together the meal, and usually exotic. That's really cool. See, I think when you're in the restaurant business or been around the restaurant business, I always loved it. But it was a nightmare as far as running one or having to worry about your staff affecting how that's going to turn out, people not showing, etc. All those kind of things. But it does bring back memories, and I learned a whole lot about cooking, and I loved it. And I learned, like I said, in my dad's restaurant, but I also learned I worked at a Bennigan's restaurant where they made everything from scratch. So I learned a whole lot doing that. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a whole bunch. I'm going to start wrapping this up pretty much. But again, just remember the topics that we talked about today. Feel free to add if you have any tech in the news that you want to talk about or bring up, please bring that up in the comments. And you can, if you're rewatching this, you can put it in those comments and I'll respond to that. Also, some cool things coming, some interesting things coming, and some things happening too. Just with, I think one of the biggest ones for me was the Google one that I brought up, cancels half their project as internal R&D group area. So, there you go. Hello from Costco, Fountain Valley. There you go. There we go. And that's so cool. A few of us who grew up in the restaurant biz, yes, it is a nightmare. My folks just retired this year. The staff are hard to find, especially the kitchen. No, 100%. I get it. Yep. And then let's see. Ari Alexa 35 just came out. How about that? And then my ex. Okay. Bringing dinner so I will miss the after party. There you go. Okay. Wow, that was like a lot of abbreviated letters. So my executive chef, I think, is what he was going with. That looked like my ex. So I misread that. So think about some of those things. I'm real curious on the food end. If you're rewatching this in replay, we can talk about it a little bit further in the Backstage Pass if you are a member. If you're not a member, be sure and click join button. Join for a month. See if you like it. It's got some cool stuff. We do daily tip every day, and the group really responds to that, and we have a good time with it. So all that being said, I think I'm going to end the show for today. And thank you for joining, and I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time on Tinkering with Tech. Thanks, folks.